Over the past week or two, race hysteria in the WNBA has somehow reached yet another inflection point. The league is currently in the midst of what really might be the single most contrived racism scandal, certainly in any professional sport, at least since the fake noose in Bubba Wallace's garage. Specifically, a bunch of WNBA players have come out claiming that they've been victimized by racial slurs and other forms of racist attacks. Like, a lot of players are claiming this. In other words, they're now accusing the people who have started showing up to WNBA games for the first time in more than 2 decades of being horrible racists.
We will analyze the most significant controversy currently affecting the WNBA in the next minutes. Matt Walsh said something that has everyone talking, and we'll show you why several WNBA players are strongly objecting. That's not all, though. By the end of this film, you'll be doubting everything you believe to be true about the WNBA's recent success. We'll also expose the startling allegations of racism that are shattering the league. Okay, let's explore the shocking allegations that are currently rocking the WNBA right now. Some players are saying things about their own supporters that you won't believe. We need to discuss it because it's creating a lot of agitation. First, let's talk about Brittany Griner's shocking revelation that has everyone talking. One of the league's biggest stars, Griner, recently made a serious accusation. At games, she says, new spectators are yelling racial epithets. Is it not unbelievable? Griner stated, you may be asking yourself, wait a second, what is she actually saying? Griner seems to be making a distinction between the new and devoted fans. In essence, she is stating that some of these immigrants are not being respectful. That is such a bold assertion, isn't it? Is there any evidence of these purported racist epithets, you ask? That's where it gets fascinating, though. Even if these claims are grave, there is a significant problem that leaves people baffled. Where is the video proof? These were questions posed by Matt Walsh himself. To the best of my knowledge, none of them have ever been captured on camera. Fascinating. None of this is supported by either audio or visual evidence. Not a single reliable report even, considering that every WNBA game has cameras and smartphones. That is certainly highly unique. The film should be widely available online if, as is alleged, a group of racists were purchasing WNBA tickets in order to taunt the players with racial epithets. However, you won't find those films anyplace on the internet. We must therefore rely on the players' word for it. But that's not all. Alyssa Thomas didn't hold back when she left the court during a game against the Indiana Fever. When fans made racist remarks throughout the game, she called them out. It's been a lot of bullshit, to be honest. I don't believe I've ever encountered racist remarks from the Indiana Fever fan base in my 11-year tenure. On a terrible issue that occurred in this world, we saw her face. However, it doesn't end there. The Chicago Sky's rookie phenom, Angel Reese, is going one step farther. She is criticizing the media in addition to criticizing supporters. According to Reese, the media ought to have addressed the racism problem in women's basketball far earlier. Angel Reese, a rookie with the Chicago Sky, believes that more should have been done by the media to address racism in women's basketball before it became a major problem. Following the Sun series winning 8-7, 8-1 victory against the Fever, Connecticut Sun All-Star Alyssa Thomas called out racist remarks made by the Indiana Fever fan base. The WNBA on Wednesday denounced all racist, disrespectful, and threatening remarks that had been made against players. This has been a persistent problem, according to Reese, who also mentioned that she has long been the target of hate speech driven by race. However, Reese claimed that her requests for responsibility and action had been consistently disregarded. To paraphrase, the media has profited off my suffering and my portrayal as a villain in order to construct a story. They permitted this, she wrote on X. They benefited from this. You guys could have attempted to put out this fire long before it started, but you arrived at the party a little late. However, the WNBA is not taking these allegations lightly. They have made it clear that they oppose racism and prejudice in the league in all its manifestations. If necessary, they are even discussing collaborating with police enforcement. The problem is, though, how can they look into something that no one can confirm actually happened? What is actually happening here, then? Do WNBA players really feel unappreciative of their new fan base? You might be surprised to learn that there appears to be a growing gap between some players and the new fans who are joining the league, but many individuals are left in the dark without concrete proof of these purported racist incidences. The question posed to Brittany Griner, was about the league's tremendous expansion. This league was dormant only a year before and had been dormant for its whole history. What do you think of all the new fans? which the reporter inquired. For example, when someone asks, how do you feel about all the new fans that are coming in? It's usually, oh, it's great. We are really appreciative of everyone's support of the league. Not at all. You know, we get animosity instead of gratitude or respect for the people who have saved the WNBA and who pay to watch poor players like Brittany Griner. Hold on, though, because just when you think this story can be any more intense, it's about to take a surprising turn. This already raging inferno is about to be fueled by another person entering the ring. And I assure you that you won't believe what follows. Matt Walsh chose to add fuel to the flames just when everyone believed the debate could not get much hotter. Here's the real kicker, though. What if Walsh's perspective on the matter is not only divisive, but also speaks to an unsettling reality that nobody wants to acknowledge? This entire story is about to be turned upside down by his notion of the WNBA's recent success. What specifically did Walsh say to get everyone talking, then? For what he describes as a staged racism scandal, he is criticizing the WNBA players. Is it not unbelievable? Walsh accuses these athletes of fabricating racist events. He's drawing a comparison between that and the Bubba Wallace garage noose incident. Do you recall that? At least since the phony noose in Bubba Wallace's garage, the league is currently embroiled in what may be the greatest fabricated racism crisis in professional sports. But hold on, it gets weirder. Walsh isn't merely criticizing the athletes. He is primarily targeting Brittany Griner. Recall Griner's remarks of racial epithets being yelled by new fans. According to Walsh, that isn't just untrue. It lacks gratitude. He wants to know why these players aren't expressing gratitude for the increased exposure the league is receiving. Forget about Griner's blatant deception. Suppose, for example, that Brittany Griner and others were greatly offended by someone's use of a slur during a WNBA game. Even in such situation, the response is nonsensical. When the reporter inquires about the supporters, why would Griner bring up that topic first? Well, the vast majority of the fans are wonderful individuals, so why not say that? They're paying, which makes me very pleased, and I'm really thankful for them. For example, why wouldn't you begin with that even if this were to occur? That's a very strong allegation, you may be thinking. You're correct, too. This is where things start to get interesting, though. Walsh is not merely making charges. Fans are responding well to some of his arguments. He is criticizing the media for covering this fictitious issue without any solid proof. Moreover, we haven't seen any records or films of these alleged racist encounters, have we? From what we've been informed, WNBA games have turned into Klan rallies. Just take everything at face value, even if you won't be able to see or hear any of that on camera. Believe what the WNBA has to say, trust what the media says, but don't worry, there is still more to come. Walsh's remarks are not being taken lightly by the WNBA or its fans. They're retaliating fiercely. The league has already issued a statement denouncing racist remarks. Walsh, however, doesn't believe it. He claims that all of this rhetoric about involving law enforcement is merely a show. What, therefore, is Walsh's startling assertion on the WNBA's recent success? Here it is. According to him, racism isn't the true focus of all the uproar and racism-related charges. According to Walsh, it's all about envy. He claims that because the league's most popular player at the moment is white, other players feel envious. Yes, he is referring to Caitlin Clark. They are reaching a level that is simultaneously absurd and humorous. For one reason and one reason only, WNBA players have completely made this story up. The fact that the league's most popular player is white fills them with jealousy and animosity. Walsh's case is more complicated than it seems, regardless of your opinion. We all want to know how the WNBA works, and this argument is far from over. Everyone has been discussing WNBA racism, thus the genuine story has been overlooked. Green matters more than black and white. One player is responsible for growing ticket sales and sponsorships. The worst aspect is that certain league members dislike it. Why? The response may surprise you. The WNBA recently won the lottery because of her. No one is interested in any of these players or the league without Caitlin Clark. Most people still don't care about her, but a lot more people do now than they did in the past. And everyone is aware of it, isn't it? As a result, everyone in the league is acting in the same way as many lottery winners, with the exception of Caitlin Clark. Their lack of self-control brings out their worst tendencies. Several months ago, I wrote about Clark's cheap shots on the court. Although some of these cheap bullets resemble criminal assault, they are not prosecuted. A controversial foul started it all, and fans are going bananas. Her eye hurt when she caught Carrington's fingertip in or around it without a whistle. Indiana cannot dispute this. The video shows her almost scoring when Clark drives to the rim. Her eye is smashed by DeJona Carrington. Social media explodes, audiences go berserk, and everyone picks sides. Was it planned? Just a game element? Discussion heats up faster than a 4th of July BBQ. As expected, this infraction enraged fans on social media. Many thought it was intentional. It may not have been intentional. You may be thinking, but fouls happen often. What's so crucial? This is when things become interesting. Multiple plays are involved in this foul. It symbolizes escalating league conflict. Some say it proves Clark is targeted. Others say basketball is hard. Anyway, everyone is talking about it. Christine Brennan, a USA Today reporter, replied to the argument like any normal sports journalist. She asked Carrington if the hit was intentional, since everyone was wondering. Examine what happened after the foul. Carrington appeared and spoke. Did you mean to hit Caitlin in the eye when you swatted her? Please describe that play. If not, I have no idea why I would hit someone in the eye. No idea why, but I didn't. I had no idea I hit her. I probably hit her while trying to make a ball play. Obviously not planned. I'm not a player like that. Is it not unbelievable? She claims that everything happened by accident. However, many are not buying it at these time of rising tensions. But that's not all. Chennedy Carter, a guard for the Chicago Sky, struck Clark viciously, sending him falling to the ground. This was more than a simple infraction or unintentional bump. It was an obviously cheap shot. Can't lie. In competition. Planning to participate. I informed you. Planning to participate. I'll compete if you punch first. All love. The game is basketball. This happens in the NBA. Right now, I'm focused on New York. I'm not thinking about that play. Yes, that happened. Only a basketball. It just happened. I mean, finished. I don't see why we're dragging a whole play. After that terrible punch, Chennedy Carter stated this. I can't lie. In competition. Planning to participate. I informed you. Planning to participate. I'll compete if you punch first. All love. The game is basketball. This happens in the NBA. This is when Clark's fame matters. She excels. She's famous. Arenas sell out everywhere she goes. A big deal for the WNBA. However, it's causing unexpected complications. Some players feel overshadowed. All racial talk makes sense then. The media, who weirdly dislike Clark's diversification efforts.